Which of these guys would you take fitness advice from? This guy on a funky balance board? Or the absolutely shredded dude blasting his six-pack abs? If you're like most people, it's this guy. Studies show that we naturally believe people who look like this know more about fitness. But a lot of the time, they don't. At all. Oh, and one more thing. This guy, he's got an MD from Stanford and is a world-renowned longevity researcher.
There is no barrier to entry for fitness influencers. You don't have to know anything about fitness. You don't have to have any fitness-related qualifications. You don't actually have to have any fitness knowledge. So if you post a lot of gym content, especially like, say, guys posting shirtless gym content, it's easy to attract followers.
That's Ben Carpenter, a personal trainer, author, and fitness de-influencer who has made a name for himself by being a voice of reason in the fitness space.
Running is useless. It's negative exercise. You should stop doing it.
Running, a hobby which is linked with a reduced risk of all-cause mortality, is linked with beneficial effects on your VO2 max, resting heart rate, triglycerides, and cholesterol. The most popular fitness videos trending at any one moment, chances are the majority of them contain more misinformation than accurate information, unfortunately.
Fitness influencing is a huge and growing section of the influencer economy. But as with basically anything online,
whilst there is money to be made, there will always be people happy to lie or take a shortcut to take your money from you.
Recently, we've seen more and more influencers de-influencing, or trying to tell their audiences to buy fewer products.
Here are all the things that I will de-influence you from buying.
Or people like Ben who are trying to dispel a lot of the misinformation floating around.
I didn't know what the term de-influencing was until I heard it explained to me, and I was like, that's what I guess I am. It wasn't intentional, but that's the position I found myself in.
But it's a lot more lucrative to make questionable claims and push products you're paid to endorse than it is to mythbust all day.
I think it's impossible to break through misinformation efficiently enough that stops it breeding. So if I said to you, hey, this product that I'm selling is the best product for burning fat ever, for you to disprove that, you have to bend over backwards to make a video explaining why it's not. But it only took me 5 seconds to make that up. Lies are sexier, novel information is sexier. When you're not constrained by the truth and you can make up whatever you want. I've known people that have been scammed. I've been scammed. And seeing people that lose money over something is painful. And I detest that there are some people out there who will willingly lie to you to take your money. I really dislike that misinformation can be harmful. People can follow diets that are dangerous. People can waste their time and effort on things that don't work. It takes almost precisely zero skill to just make up that sounds good on social media. And to me, that is a much stronger motivator to make content than I would like to advertise a product and make money from a company willing to pay me. The loudest voices are often the ones who least deserve the microphone.
The research shows fitness misinformation and even just fitness inspiration or fitspiration can be massively harmful to those of us who consume it. For one thing, most of us can never get to that level of fitness no matter what we do. More and more studies are showing that how our bodies respond to exercise is mostly genetic. For another thing, consuming fitspiration leads to us liking our bodies less, comparing ourselves to models more, and worsening moods, especially in young people. Another study found that 83% of young male gym users used some form of supplement, with a substantial number also using steroids. It also concluded that image-centric social media consumption was linked to increases in the use of both. The dark side of the fitfluencer space is not just that a lot of people are hawking dubious supplements or encouraging unhealthy diets, it's not super healthy for the actual influencers either.
I think a lot of fitness influencers probably do have an unhealthy relationship with food or their body image. People who work in the fitness industry often have worse body appearance pressure because they need to look a certain way for other people to trust them. From my own experience with having a lot of fitness model friends, fitness professional friends and fitness influencer friends, most of them would unanimously agree that a lot of them feel a pressure to look a certain way.
To be a fitfluencer doesn't just come with body image and dieting pressure. It can also lead to shortcuts.
It is especially easy for people to find themselves in that position of authority as a fitness influencer if they are the genetic elite or if they are secretly taking performance-enhancing drugs. In the fitness industry, there is a hidden underbelly of secret drug use. I have kind of described it as, if you want to make a lot of money in the fitness industry, secretly take anabolics, post a lot of videos with your shirt off. You will probably get people following you because of that, and then sell whatever it is that you want to sell. There is 100% certainty that many people secretly take drugs and lie about taking drugs to then sell a service.
We saw that exact thing with the infamous Liver King, who claimed the immaculate physique you see here was all due to disciplined exercise and consuming all sorts of raw meat like this.
And number one, I don't do it. I'm here to tell you, if you do all 9 ancestral tenets, you're gonna look, feel, and function at your best.
But he later admitted to steroid usage. But even if you want to get to a similar level of fitness naturally, it can come with brutal side effects.
So I have dieted for a few photo shoots in my life, and I have dieted down to levels of body fat that very few people would diet to. And I would receive a lot of comments on the way I looked, but I felt terrible. So this was one of the reasons why I talk about aesthetics and fitness not matching up, because aesthetics-wise, I had a very lean six-pack. A lot of people complimented me on the way I looked and how ripped I was, but it was the worst I had ever felt outside of accidental illness. Insatiable appetite, obviously, irritability, lethargy, lowered sex drive.
But as Ben told us, the levels of fat competitors would get down to for shows, or just fitness professionals doing photo shoots, are now often the expectation for fitfluencers all the time. And these unrealistic body images are bad for both the fitfluencers as well as their millions of followers.
Please understand that having extreme rigidity about what foods you can never eat is linked with worse mental health.
If you ask 100 people on the street where they get their fitness advice from, what are they going to say? No one is going to say, oh, I read this research paper, I read this research paper. They're going to say, I read fitness magazines, I watch stuff on social media. So people like me often try and connect the dots between the two. They take the research papers and then they try and simplify it for a wider audience. Most people would benefit the most from the most basic advice that isn't profitable. It doesn't cost money and it's not sexy, so people don't sell it. But if you could make everyone on the planet exercise more, eat more fruits and vegetables, fewer kind of ultra-processed, high-calorie, refined foods, you could improve the health of people significantly.